Hey guys, it's Communications. Welcome to another VHS collection video. This time, part 3. I believe it's part 3. Anyway, so it'll be a fun time to do something like this. The lighting might change again because the sunlight might make me look like a vampire. I might do that. But just I'll warn you guys. But anyway, pretty much everything's back to normal. My mom's back at work. Mom's friend Troy, he's back at work too, so everything's pretty much back to normal in terms of my family emergency that I had a little bit. So I thought it'd be a fun thing to do as a little VHS collection video before I get ready to head back to a class. I have a choir class tonight at Clark. So, but anyway, as for sort of news about movie news and stuff, I might do a vlog later about bullshit like the new TMNT posters, which the Raphael poster literally looks like he's flipping you off with his eye. Yeah, it literally looks like he's giving you the middle finger with his eye, which is great. Great advertising. It's not false advertising. It's true for once, because that movie is basically a big fuck you to me as a fan of the Ninja Turtles. But and also actually did see a good movie in theaters recently. I saw Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and so look forward to seeing a review of that sometime. I think I'm going to wait to review it till I re-review Captain America: The First Avenger. Then that can, I think that'd be a fun thing to do. But that review, reviews of Captain America: The First Avenger and The Winter Soldier will be up sometime soon. Probably sometime, at least by this weekend. And then I'm planning on watching a few more airplane disaster flicks. Next up is Airborne, with Steve Guttenberg as the lead in an action thriller. So I hope that it'll be interesting, at least. So anyway, let's get started, shall we? First off, I'm going to start with ones I actually picked up recently. So a little bit different here. This is a good deal, majority of these. I got these for really cheap. I got like 8 movies at Value Village for $2 each. For $2 total. Not $2 each. $2 total for 8 movies. Because they had this deal where you buy 4 and you get them for $1. So I thought I'd get into that. And here are some of the ones that I bought. 8 movies that I got for $2. Terminal Justice, Lorenzo Lamas. I guess it's also known as Cybertech PD. The name of the game is Danger. And Action Megastar. I love it. They say Action Megastar Lorenzo Lamas. Like, yeah, he's a megastar. He's about as much of an action megastar as I am. Battles the brains behind a criminal virtual reality empire in the suspense-packed sci-fi adventure. Excuse me. I don't know where that came from. I think my body just looked at the reflex of the ridiculous date of the future here and just started a coughing fit. So excuse me. The year 2008. Virtual sex and drugs have replaced real experiences while dramatically increasing crime. Enter Metro Vice Cop Bobby Chase, Lorenzo Lamas, a Russian cartel war vet. Aided by high-tech optic implants, replacing the eyes he lost in battle, Chase has vowed to bring VR crime master Reginald Matthews, Chris Sarandon, to justice. Moonlighting as a bodyguard to the gorgeous virtual sex goddess Pamela Travis, Chase learns of Matthews' plans to manufacture female sex slaves. After discovering Pamela as the next clone subject, Bobby enters Matthews' latest VR game, Hellraiser, for a no-holds-barred fight to the death. Hellraiser? What? It's called Hell... What, is Pinhead going to show up? I have such wonderful sights to show you. I will tear your soul apart. No, probably not. It's directed by Rick King. Peter Cody's also in this. Oh, okay. But yeah, Terminal Justice, Cybertech PD. Then I picked this up because my friend Matt is a fan of this movie, and I decided why not give it a look. Club Paradise, with Robin Williams, and Peter O'Toole and Rick Moranis. It also is got a screenplay by Harold Ramis and Brian Doyle Murray, and it is directed by Harold Ramis. And this is a movie that a lot of people, critics didn't like it and didn't do very well. Pack your bags for Club Paradise, the Caribbean resort where the good times and laughter come at you in waves. Steering the crazed course of this tropical romp is Robin Williams, the actor-comedian Newsweek hailed as the funniest man in America. Never caught with this punchline down, Williams plays Jack Monaker, an ex-Chicago fireman who uses a sizable disability settlement to transform a remote island watering hole into a lucrative tourist wonderland. Lured by brochures promising party-hardy heaven on earth, swingers come winging to the resort from far and wide, and discover heaven to be a little south of expectations. The gung-ho vacationers make the best of it, and scene after hilarious scene. Among the players in paradise are Peter O'Toole as a British magistrate, Twiggy as Monaker's romantic girl Friday, Adolf Caesar as a slimy bureaucrat conspiring to sell the island to even slimier outside interests, and reggae rocker Jimmy Cliff as a club musician determined to keep the island under the rule of islanders, and a galaxy of today's brightest comedy stars, including Second City standouts Rick Moranis, Eugene Levy, Andrea Martin, and Joe Flaherty. Co-scripted and directed by Harold Ramis, whose blockbuster comedy credits include National Lampoon's Vacation, Caddyshack, Stripes, and Ghostbusters, Globe Paradise has a sunny side, funny side look at a cultural collision course between islanders and outsiders. And with Williams at the comic helm, the result is a funny bone crack-up that the New Yorker's Pauline Kael deemed as pleasant as can be. So it looks like fun. It looks like a fun time, so I'll definitely check this out sometime. Club Paradise. Next one I got is a movie. I actually caught part of it on TV, cable a while back. Overnight Delivery with Reese Witherspoon and Paul Rudd. They got 24 hours to stop a package, prevent disaster, and fall in love. It's usually not my type of movie, but I got it because it was cheap, and also because I caught it on TV. I never saw the rest of it, so I'm kind of curious about what the rest of it is. When college guy Wyatt trips Paul Rudd, Romeo and Juliet clueless, thinks his high school sweetheart is cheating on him, he and Aunt Ivy, Reese Witherspoon, Freeway, and Fear, and a new friend send her the world's most disgusting poison pen letter via overnight delivery. But when Wyatt gets home, he is in for a shocking surprise. His girlfriend's message explains that she hasn't been unfaithful after all. It was just a big misunderstanding. Now he's got 24 hours to get the letter back in this wildly funny romantic comedy from the producers of Dumb and Dumber. And so it's, so produced by one of the producers of Brad and Dumber, I guess. Brad and Dumber. Brad and Dumber! Wow. Brad and Dumber. I did it again! I can't help it. I can't help myself, I guess. This is a Dumb and Dumber. So yeah, that's Overnight Delivery. Next one is a film that I've heard some, good reviews about. Never seen it. The Indian Runner. Of course, you can't see it because there's like stickers over the cover. But The Indian Runner. And it's a film that's the directorial debut of Sean Penn, who also wrote it as well. And stars David Morse, Viggo Mortensen in an early role, Valeria Golino, Dennis Hopper, and Charles Bronson. And in his writing and directorial debut, Sean Penn delivers a profoundly provocative masterpiece that enriches the senses and touches the heart. With an acknowledged nod to such esteemed filmmakers as John Cassavetes and Hal Ashby, Penn displays an instinctive sensitivity and storytelling ability rarely found in today's blockbuster marketplace. The story centers around the relationship of two brothers, Joe, David Morse of St. Elsewhere, and Frank, Viggo Mortensen, in a powerfully dangerous performance. Joe is a cop, settled down with a wife and child. Frank, having never fully recovered from his experience in Vietnam, lives his life breaking the laws his brother has vowed to uphold. Engulfed with brotherly love, conflict, and pursuit of something that may or may not exist, Frank and Joe attempt to get through life one long day at a time. Supported by a cast that features Charles Bronson, Sandy Dennis, Patricia Arquette, Valerie Golino, and Dennis Hopper, The Indian Runner has a fundamental honesty that gives it real substance. This is from Janet Maslin from the New York Times. And Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up. And David Anson said Sean Penn has the gifts of a real filmmaker. An eye, an ear, and a heart. This one comes from the gut. So, yeah, it's a drama, but I never really heard of it. So, it's cheap, and, I like the cast, and be interesting to check it out. Next one is a Western. I don't normally get Westerns, but I got this because of the cast. Montana, with Gina Whirlwinds, Richard Crenna, and Leah Thompson. I might have this already. I don't know for sure. I might have it in Oklahoma somewhere. Like, some reason it looks familiar. But anyway, like I said, I'm not really the biggest fan of Westerns. But Richard Crenna in a Western would be interesting. And Leah Thompson doing another sort of Western role after her work in Back to the Future Part 3. This is from Larry McMurtry, Pulitzer Prize winner of Lonesome Dove and writer of Academy Award-winning Terms of Endearment, becomes a powerful contemporary Western. Montana stars Richard Crenna and Gina Rowlands, and they play Hoyce and Bess Guthrie, two strong-willed ranchers caught up in the ruthless New West. They manage to keep the ranch alive only by stubborn love and hard work, but when the strip miners move in and offer a lot of money for the property, they are torn between respect for the land and the lure of easy living. Although tempted to give up the harsh life of a cowboy, Hoyce refuses to give in to big business and decides to pass on to his children, Leah Thompson and Justin Dees, the legacy of roping and riding under the big sky. As the Guthries take a stand against the miners, what tears them apart and what brings them together begins and ends in Montana. So that's Montana. See, it's rated M for mature. Yep, they rated movies M for mature too. Here's a film called Trigger Happy with a really good cast. And I have a screening copy of this in Oklahoma, so I replaced it. I've always been kind of curious about this movie. I think it also has an alternate title as well. San Francisco Examiner called it a goofy, darkly comic gangster movie. It's got Ellen Barkin, Gabriel Byrne, Richard Dreyfuss, Jeff Goldblum, and Diane Lane in it. And Richard Dreyfuss has an all-star cast in this wickedly funny crime comedy that explodes with rapid-fire wit and deadly double crosses. It's a wonderfully warped glimpse of the criminal underworld where insanity reigns and the barbs and bullets fly. Dreyfuss is Vic, a mob boss who's crazy, literally. And after his release from a mental hospital, he returns to find that his organization is crumbling. And no wonder. With friends like his, who needs enemies? There's Mickey Holiday, Jeff Goldblum, the hired gun whose lightning-fast hands have been all over Vic's girlfriend, Diane Lane, Ben London, Gabriel Byrne, the slow-witted goon who sees himself as replacing Vic as the gang's mastermind, even if no one else can see it, and the luscious Rita, played by Ellen Barkin, a bombshell who could detonate at any moment. Vic struggles to restore the balance, but as he sorts through the myriad of loopy schemes against him, the one thing becomes clear. He may be the only one who isn't crazy. With appearances by Gregory Hines, Burt Reynolds, and Kyle MacLachlan, Trigger Happy is a comedy masterwork. This is from the American Urban Radio Network. It's written and directed by Larry Bishop. And yeah, really, eclectic cast. And just I remember seeing the trailer for it. It looked interesting. So yeah, I'll give this a look. Definitely give this a look sometime. Trigger Happy. Next one is actually a really rare one. I'm really surprised I got it for really cheap. Archie, Return to Riverdale. This is the Archie movie. Yeah, there was a live-action Archie film. And what's interesting is the most recent news about Archie, relating to Archie, is what I read anyway, is that Archie is going to die. They're going to kill off Archie. They're going to kill him. That's the whole big thing, folks. They're going to kill Archie. Archie's going to die in the comics. They're going to kill him off. He's going to die a heroic death, I guess, but whatever. This is Archie Return to Riverdale. It's New Horizons VHS, and I believe I do have another copy of this in Oklahoma, and it looks really familiar. Anyway, look out, Riverdale, he's back. 15 years after graduating from high school, Archie Andrews returns to his class reunion to find nothing much has changed. Reggie's still a conniving weasel, Jughead still likes a hamburger or two, and the good girl Betty and Vampy Veronica are still vying for his attention. Somehow his fiancée Pam just doesn't sympathize with his dilemma. Sparks start flying as Archie tries to sort out a midlife crisis of hilarious proportions. And it's directed by Dick Lowry, and it stars Sam Whipple, Christopher Rich as Archie, Lauren Hawley, Karen Copins, Sam Whipple, Gary Kroger, and Matt McCoy, with James Noble and David Doyle. So, that's Archie, Return to Riverdale. Next one is a Luc Besson movie, one of his first films, The Big Blue. I have never seen this. I know it's an underwater photography movie dealing with deep divers, free divers. And I really like underwater photography movies. And this is the director's cut. This one has additional 49 minutes of footage. And experience the peril and intensity of freediving, the world's most dangerous sport. The Big Blue. Jacques Jean-Luc Barr breaking the waves, and his friendly rival Enzo, played by Jean Reno from The Professional, or Jean Reno, are considered masters of freediving and have made a career out of this one-of-a-kind competition. Jacques' long-life obsession with diving comes from his unusual bond with the sea, while Enzo thrives on the challenges of its inherent danger. In his travels, Jacques meets Joanna, played by Rosanna Arquette, who was she was the reason why Toto sang that song, Rosanna, Rosanna. That was because one of the members of the band was dating Rosanna Arquette, and who was attracted to innocent qualities and follows him across Europe to share his adventures, triumphs, and ultimately tragic bond with Enzo. With breathtaking underwater photography and matching musical support from Eric Serra, who also did the score for The Fifth Element, The Big Blue immerses you in a life and death adventure you'll never forget. So yeah, this is the director's cut of The Big Blue. Give it a look sometime. Although it has an extra 49 minutes, so it's 169 minutes long, so that's a long one. That's the last of the ones that I got at Goodwill. I mean, at Value Village, got 8 for $2. Here's some I got at Goodwill for $1 each. Needful Things with Ed Harris and Max von Sydow, because I don't believe I have a copy of it, and if I do, you might see it later, but I know I don't have it on DVD, and I haven't seen this one yet. I really have not seen Needful Things. I've seen the trailer for it, but I've never seen the film. I know it has a screenplay by W.D. Richter, and it's directed by Fraser Cheston. And Fraser C. Heston, not Cheston. Well, the way it writes on the back, Fraser C. Heston. I believe that's the brother or the son of Charlton Heston, I think. Anyway, it stars Ed Harris, Max von Sydow, Bonnie Bedelia, J.T. Walsh, and Amanda Plummer. And it's based on Stephen King's #1 best-selling novel. And it's a terrifying thriller starring Ed Harris, Bonnie Bedelia, Max von Sydow, J.T. Welsh, and Amanda Plummer. A mysterious new store opens up in the town of Castle Rock, Maine, and despite the nerve-shattering prices on every item, the owner is always willing to make a devil of a deal. This is Stephen King's town of terror, where an evil stranger unleashes a deadly scheme and the residents must pay the ultimate price. Get ready for the final showdown between good and evil. Get ready for the best Stephen King film ever. Yeah, really. It's the best Stephen King film ever. It's a Stephen King movie barely nobody talks about nowadays, so I highly doubt it's the best Stephen King movie ever. But I think that's probably comes from Jeff Craig from 60 Second Preview, who said, it's the best movie adaptation from a Stephen King story after Misery. And it got 3.5 stars from Roger Hurlburt from Fort Lauderdale Sun-Sentinel. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of people who thought it was the best Stephen King movie ever. A good cast, though, and I'll definitely give it a look. Probably when I do some Stephen King movies. Here's a film that I like alright. It's not perfect. It has its problems. But I like the movie. A.P.E.X. And I know this is on DVD, but not in the U.S. I don't believe so. And if it is, it's out of print. This is a screening copy. I have the regular copy in Oklahoma, but I'm fine with this because it's actually kind of cool. Because you can see the artwork on the back here. This is what they really did go crazy with this movie. Republic Pictures. See, they had you triple up on the action and the savings, and you get a standee and a poster and a shelf talker. I guess it's something that went on the shelf and actually you pressed a button and talked or something. And then I also like this, because it actually has this kind of thing that opens up. So you get kind of cool artwork of A.P.E.X. And I guess it did, meet the Terminator that towers above the bullshit. It doesn't tower above the Terminator. But, that's just really weird. It actually, I just thought it was kind of weird, but also really cool. I like VHSs that open up like this, and it's a major nationwide theatrical release. Really, and it looks like there's a signature or something on here. Well, wouldn't that be really cool if it was signed by somebody from the movie? But seriously, there's a signature right here, right there. I can't read it. I don't know who it is. It looks like a signature. It looks like something, maybe Richard Keats or one of the actors or the director or something. Because look at that. That does not look like a signature that some regular everyday Joe would have that would mark on a copy of a film. So I'm like really interested. I'm really like curious now. Like what? I can't because there's a lot of stars who, or even not even big stars. Nobody in this movie is a big star. A lot of people whose signatures are like really, you know, you can't really read them. But anyway, in the year 2073, the leaders of our world devise the ultimate extermination unit. But when a routine experiment goes radically wrong, one man must travel across time in a battle to save our future world. A high-tech futuristic action-adventure in the tradition of such high renters as Terminator, Demolition Man, and Total Recall. All three movies that are better than Apex. Featuring a dazzling array of state-of-the-art special effects ranging from sophisticated stop-motion to computer-generated animation. Really, really dated-looking CGI. Powerhouse Pop includes 5 blah, 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 blah. So they're doing all this sort of like promotion. Like, oh, no, 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 here you go. You can do this and this and that. But that's Apex. I've always, you know, I've had some fun with this movie. I like the plot, and it's not the greatest thing ever, but I don't mind the film. I don't mind Apex, so I'm glad to add it to my collection again. Because my copy's in storage in Oklahoma. And here's one that was a blind, curious. It was like really cheap. It was like $1, but I guarantee this is false advertising. This has to be a bunch of fucking bullshit. The Last Samurai with Lance Henriksen, John Fujioka, and John Sachs. And I'm like, this has got to be a bunch of fucking bullshit. Why? Because it's front row entertainment. These are the same people that release shit like Ninja Terminator. Like that Richard Harrison, you know, Godfrey Ho piece of shit. So I'm pretty sure this has got to be like they put in stock footage or some shit. I mean, I really have a hard time believing that Lance Henriksen starred in this. But maybe he did. Maybe he did. I mean, on the pretense of a business trip, Japanese multimillionaire Yoshujo Endo, John Fujioka, journeys into the African nation of Imatsi. In reality, Endo is on a personal mission, a quest to discover the truth about a samurai ancestor who disappeared in Africa 2 centuries ago, and perhaps find the true spirit of the samurai he feels deep within himself. Soon he is drawn into a jungle filled with political intrigue, uneasy alliances, and murderous enemies at every turn. As he closes in on his inner truth, the forces surrounding him also close in, driving the last samurai towards an action-packed fight to the finish where bravery and betrayal lead to the ultimate sacrifice. I'm like, I don't even think these pictures are from the movie. I really doubt it. But then you have something right here. I don't think that's from the movie either. That picture of Lance Henriksen, I don't know if you can see it very well. You know, because it's kind of blurry. But it looks like he has something against his neck. Like a sword or something. It looks like he has almost looks like he has a cigar in his mouth. That might not be what's going on. But I'll give it a look, but I'm pretty sure this is just a bunch of bullshit. I'm pretty sure the plot is right, but the cover is bullshit. Lance Henriksen's barely in the movie. Or if he is, they just splice stock footage in. Like, I really would be surprised if this movie actually is what it advertises that it is. But that's The Last Samurai. Now we get into box of tapes. Some of these you've probably seen an update before, but that's what I did before in the collection video, so here we go again. Movie called Captives with Tim Roth and Julie Armand. And we got some decent reviews. This critically acclaimed erotic thriller stars Julie Armand from Sabrina and Tim Roth from Rob Roy, and a sexy story of forbidden desire and dangerous entrapment. After a beautiful woman, Armand, unexpectedly finds passion with a mysterious loner, Roth, they secretly begin an illicit affair. But soon blackmail turns the relationship into a far more dangerous situation than they could have ever imagined. With everything at risk, it's an impossible predicament that leaves them with nowhere to hide, and delivers you riveting big-screen entertainment. Like a lot of Miramax and descriptions and crap, it really gives me nothing. It gives nothing away. I have no idea what the movie's about. So I have to watch it to really honestly, I get the gist of it, like a very, very tiny gist of what the film's about. But it got 2 thumbs up by Siskel and Ebert, which isn't really, they gave Speed 2 thumbs up. So, but anyway, they're decent reviews. I like Tim Roth, so I'll give it a look sometime. Captives. Next one's because it was cheap, and this is for whenever I get around to doing video game movie reviews. I got it. Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. Here's another one that Ebert gave 2 thumbs up. Even Roper gave it 2 thumbs up. Final Fantasy Spirits Within. The movie that the Square Pictures, only film that Square Pictures produced. And as you can see, it looks like it has water damage, the case and stuff like that. Probably because it does. Somebody threw it in a pool. They hated it so much. I don't know. It's hard to take your eyes off the screen. Anyway, this movie's infamous for having nothing to do with the game. Like, at all. Except for the characters and just being some random thing. But the year is 2065 AD. The Earth is infested with alien spirits. The Earth is infested with alien ghosts! Yeah. And mankind faces total extinction. Led by a strange dream and guided by her mentor, Dr. Sid, a scientist Aki Ross struggles to collect the 8 spirits in hope of creating a force powerful enough to destroy the alien presence and pure enough to protect the planet. With the aid of Deep Eye Squadron, Aki must save the Earth from its darkest hate and unleash the spirits within. Final Fantasy is a great, groundbreaking new CGI film from the creators of the Final Fantasy video game franchise, which has nothing to do with the video game. So yeah, Unleash a New Reality. Unleash a New Reality has nothing to do with the game this movie's based on. Here's one I picked up. It was cheap, out of time, Mario Lopez. I saw the trailer for it. It looked like it actually might be a decent kind of fun time waster. But this hilariously awful cover art on the back here. Bad Photoshop before Photoshop. What starts out as an easy way to make money turns into a deadly lesson for... As David Morales, Mario Lopez, gets trapped in the world of illegal drugs and the Mexican mob. Also featuring Ali Landry, Out of Time is a thrilling fight for survival on the streets where seconds can mean your life. And pretty much other than Ali Landry, Carlos Mencia is also in this movie. The mind of Mencia graces his presence with this, with this movie. And other than that, yeah, you got Carlos Mencia. Is he playing the bad guy? I'll laugh my ass off. If Carlos Mencia plays the villain in this, I'll be like, what? Fuck. Anyway, I'll give that a look sometime. Here's a movie. Escape to Athena. Directed by George P. Cosmatos. And it's a film that has a pretty big cast. It's got Richard Roundtree, Roger Moore, Telly Savalas, David Niven, Stephanie Powers, Claudia Cardinal, who are 2 actresses I don't even have no idea who they are, and Sonny Bono. Yeah, Sonny Bono is in this, and Elliot Gould. And it also has a score by Lalo Schifrin. And the story is also based on a story by George P. Cosmatos and Richard S. Lochte. It's an ITC film. A lot of these movies they did absolutely tanked. This was a flop, if I remember correctly, in the box office. A World War II adventure saga bursting with non-stop excitement and blazing action. Telly Savalas, Elliot Gould, Roger Moore, David Niven, Sonny Bono, Richard Roundtree, Claudia Cardinal, and Stephanie Powers get powerful performances in their starring roles. The Führer's antiquarian reclamation project is looting a treasure-laden island off Greece. The prisoners labor under the eye of the camp's Austrian commandant, Major Otto Hecht, played by Roger Moore. Roger Moore plays a German SS captain, I think. Yep. Very believable. And as they dig up priceless Greek art, Zeno, played by Telly Savalas, the island's resistance leader, and his woman, Elena, played by Claudia Cardinale, a bordel madam, scheme to defeat the occupiers. The story is ablaze with heart-stopping action as Zeno and his men clash with the German Zeno. Zeno is the name of the... Isn't Zeno? It's Xenu. Xenu is the name of like some shitty Hulk villain, and I think also the name of that alien from Scientology, I think. The story is ablaze with heart-stopping action as Zeno and his men clash with the Germans to save the lives of the condemned prisoners, try to locate a submarine oil supply depot. And if the Germans are to be defeated, they must also seek and dismantle the communications equipment on Mount Athens. The non-stop action in this our lush Mediterranean paradise grabs hold and doesn't let go, and escape to Athena. So, yeah, I really don't have very much hope for this movie. Maybe cheesy fun, that's about it. But it was really cheap, so I didn't pay that much for it. But it's Escape to Athena. This one is, I think it's a directorial debut of Stephen Sommers, I think. Catch Me If You Can. MCEG Virgin flick. If you can't win the race, move the finish line. And no, that's not Bronson Pinchot. It looks like Bronson Pinchot, but it is not Bronson Pinchot. It also has music composed and performed by Tangerine Dream. And it stars Matt Latanzi, Lauren Lachlan, huh? And M. Emmett Walsh as Jimmy Fantmun, not Phantom, Fantmun, and Jeffrey Lewis as Mr. Johnson. What happens when the perfect girl breaks the rules? Melissa needs $200,000 for a good cause, and playing by the rules is getting her nowhere fast. With time running out, she needs help, and any kind that she can get. Enter handsome dragster Dylan Malone, whose fast car and fancy moves are earning him stacks of bucks and a radical reputation. He's got a risky business proposal that makes Melissa think twice about how to play the game. When Dylan convinces her that raising cash through an illegal race is the only way to go, this mismatched team takes on the law and the local gambling boss, risking everything to win. Suspense races down to the finish line as Dylan and Melissa to make their own rules and stand back for the breathtaking climax and try to catch me if you can. Rated PG. So it's like a late 80s flick, and I've heard the soundtrack before. It's not that bad. And I think it's only on VHS, so glad to get this. I'll give it a look sometime. I like fun 80s, cheesy 80s flicks. Speaking of cheese, Lambada. I only got this because I have the other one. I have Salsa, so it'd be like a crappy double feature of shitty early 90s dance movies. And this cover art is horrible. She looks fucking dead. It's like he's, dry humping a... Looks like she's, literally looks like a mannequin is straddling his ass. Set the night on fire. Obviously not by the look in her eyes, and he looks like he's gonna fall asleep. And then this just looks scary. Look at this shit on the back here. That doesn't look erotic at all. That looks terrifying. And sweaty and oily and just gross. Anyway, a Beverly Hills school teacher by day, Kevin Laird and Kevin Laird. Is he related to Peter Laird? Or Kevin and Peter Laird. Yeah, Kevin Laird is in this. No, not really. Beverly Hills school teacher by day, Kevin Laird enjoys journeys at night. I said enjoys. Well, he enjoys it too. Enjoys it. God damn it! I did it again. The Beverly Hills school teacher by day, Kevin Laird, journeys like the band Journey at night to a warehouse in East LA where a group of barrio kids gather to dance the Lambada. Using his dazzling dance moves to earn the kids' respect and acceptance, Kevin then teaches them academics in an informal backroom study hall, but when a jealous, love-struck student exposes Kevin's double life, his two worlds collide, threatening his job and reputation. A cross between Stand and Deliver and Dirty Dancing, combination nobody asked for. Lambada tells the hidden story of this sizzling, fiery dance of life. Yeah. Starring J. Eddie Peck, Melora Hardin, and Shabadoo from Breakin', and Ricky Paul Golden. And yeah, it's also a Canon film, as you can see by the Canon video on the back there, on the side there, and by the Canon video logo here on the VHS. But yeah, that's Lambada. Set the night on fire. Which I guess is an excuse for arson? Like this movie? Wilder Napalm. This is a really curious flick that's hard to find on DVD. And I think there's a DVD like with what is it, Mill Creek Entertainment or whatever, did something like that with this. I'm a huge Dennis Quaid fan. For those of you who follow my channel, you already know that. And this is one that really kind of I missed. I really never heard of it until I found it on VHS. Like I saw the trailer for it, or before I found the VHS, I was like, this looks interesting. A quirky comedy about love, sex, and pyromania. Wilder Napalm stars as Deborah Winger. Wilder Napalm stars Deborah Winger as an arsonist. There we go. As an arsonist who is loved by two brothers, Dennis Quaid and Arliss Howard, who have flamethrowing talents of their own. With telekinetic powers that enabled him to start fires using only his mind, Wilder Fordorant, Arliss Howard, seems a natural match for the flamboyant Vita, played by Deborah Winger. But his younger brother Wallace, Dennis Quaid, also shares the same passion and same telekinetic power, and the same passion for Vita. In a bid to win fame, fortune, and Vita's hand, Wallace decides to go public with his Firestarter stunt as Dr. Napalm. But before he can appear on TV, he'll have to defeat Wilder in a scorchingly funny duel to the death, or thereabouts. A high-octane comedy from the creator of Moonlighting, Wilder Napalm is wickedly offbeat and directly on target, not off target. Directed by Glenn Gordon Caron, and it's written by Vince Gilligan. And I just like the idea. It's different. It's like Firestarter, but like if it was like a comedy or something. Like a dark comedy. Firestarter was a dark comedy. So that's Wilder Napalm. I'm definitely going to give this a look sometime. Big Dennis Quaid fan. Next up is a Oliver Gruner flick with a stupid ass looking cover. Oh, it's shiny. Who gives a shit? That alien looks like shit. It's a shitty looking alien. Shiny or not, that's a shitty looking alien. Anyway, Interceptor Force. This is a York Entertainment release where they try to be fancy with shiny covers and fucking multicolored VHS tapes. Like this gay ass tape. Yellow. Yeah. Yellow was badass. Interceptor Force. Yellow was never badass. Except for Wolverine. That's it. I don't know if anybody else pulled off Yellow other than Wolverine. Reverse Flash. Professor Zoom. Anyway, Oliver Gruner's in this. Ernie Hudson and Glenn Palmer. And they're Earth's last line of defense. A crack team of mercenaries, Oliver Gruner, Glenn Plummer, are deployed to investigate the mysterious crash of a squadron of F-17s and commanded by the Air Force Major Mackenzie, played by Ernie Hudson. At the site of impact, they track a life force which defies the imagination, an alien capable of morphing into any organic or pure energy form it comes in contact with, including humans. Survival skills are tested with a vengeance as enemies erupt into a firestorm of fury. Can the unstoppable chameleon be eliminated? Not even nuclear holocaust can stop determined warriors in this ravaging game of search and destroy where the opponent would rather die than trying to lose. Read by Philip Roth. Mainly I got it because I'm a big fan of Oliver Gruner and I wanted to check this out. And it's got Ernie Hudson in it, and it's also got Billy Zabka and Brad Dourif as Weber. And I guess Oliver Gruner was one of the producers. And, yeah, it looks really cheap, though. Interceptor Force. All the shiny cover, shiny bullshit in the world. I'm going to make this movie excellent. But I got it because it was cheap. Here's what I got because I saw the trailer. Look, it might be interesting. And this is a screening copy. It's the only copy I find at the time. Jeff Fahey and Gary Busey in Lethal Tender. And money is the most explosive element. And it also has Carrie-Anne Moss. And I believe the actress right here. No, that's a different actress. But it has Carrie-Anne Moss is also in it as well. Lone cop is all that stands between the city of Chicago and a terrorist plot to poison the water system while pulling off a $100 million high-tech bond heist. Hey! Batman Begins! You're not the first and only movie to do that poison the water system plot. Yeah, no wonder I thought that plot was lame. I have a good reason, because direct-to-video movies like Lethal Tender had that plot. Anyway, yeah, the rest of this stuff on the back is just like, oh, look at all these deals you can get, you know. And of course, then it says, not for rental or resale, but, you know, what I have it. But yeah, that's Lethal Tender. This was cheap. It's the only reason why I got it. The Art of Murder. Friggin' erotic, softcore, porno, thriller, whatever, the kind of stuff I hate. But it was really cheap. Starring Michael Moriarty, Joanna Pacula, Boyd Kessner, and Peter Onorati. And cravings, lust, indiscretions, passion. This heart is murder. Elizabeth, Joanna Pacula, seems to have it all. A wealthy husband, Michael Moriarty. A perfect beachside mansion and a passionate affair with a younger man, Boyd Kessner. But when Willie, Peter Onorati, Onorati threatens to show her husband illicit photographs of her and her lover, she finds herself embroiled in a deadly triangle of deceit, betrayal, and murder, where no one can be satisfied or ruled out. So yeah, I like Michael Moriarty. That's one of the main reasons why, but it's probably gonna suck. And I guess it's another screening copy, but it doesn't say it on the cover. That's Art of Murder. This one is a David Heavener flick. Prime Target, which is also a screening copy. It's the only one I could find. It was cheap. David Heavener and Tony Curtis and Prime Target. I saw the trailer for this. It looks ridiculous. Marked by the mob, hunted by the FBI, but what they feared most was each other. And it's written, directed, and produced by David Heavener. And Isaac Hayes is also in it as well as Robert Reed, Andrew Robinson, and Don Stroud, and Tony Curtis, and Jenny Lee Harrison. And it's edited by Christopher Roth, who I think went on to direct some other movies. I think I could be completely wrong. I think I would get confused with Philip Roth, the guy who directed Interceptor Force. And yeah, Academy Award nominee Tony Curtis, Some Like It Hot, The Boston Stranglers, Marietta Coppola. Marietta? Oh, come on. Is that a typo? Marietta? I mean, that's worse than Marion Cobretti. That's worse than Marion as the first name. Marietta? How can you look at that as anything other than the name of a chick? And then he must have been... No wonder he became a mob boss. He became a mob boss because of his first name. That way nobody would make fun of him. Because then they'd be slaughtered. Anyway, he plays Marietta Coppola, a mafia boss running from his deadly past. To keep Coppola alive long enough to testify against the family, the FBI recruits maverick small-town cop John Bloodstone. Yeah, right. Twisted Justice star David Heavener, but as Bloodstone wages a ferocious running battle with the mob's heavy-armed hitman. Running battle. So he's on the... Is he literally running while he's fighting? What is he in The Running Man 2? I don't get that use of the running in this description. Running battle with the mob's heavily armed hitman. He begins to suspect that the FBI may have its own reasons for silencing Coppola permanently. With the help of a renegade police captain, Shaft star Isaac Hayes, the two natural enemies pool their survivor skills and dig in for a murderous confrontation with both forces racing at them from both sides of the law. That's Prime Target. And it's probably not a Prime movie. Here's actually a movie I actually enjoy with Dolph Lundgren, Sweepers, but has shitty cover art. This is cheap. Cheap ass shit. Like, lazy. You don't even have all of Dolph Lundgren's head. You don't even have all of his face on this cover. Like, look. You cut off part of his eye. He walks where other men fear. Christian Eriksen, played by Dolph Lundgren. I almost said Christina. I'm all out of whack today. As usual, I can't go through a single episode of this series without flubbing some lines. Hey, adds to the entertainment, at least I hope. Christian Eriksen, Dolph Lundgren, heads an elite team that sweeps war-ravaged countries for deadly landmines, and he is the best in the business, until his 11-year-old son is killed during a rebel attack. 5 years later, he is lost to the world in a foreign country, until a beautiful bomb squad expert, played by Claire Stansfield, enlists his help in her search for the deadly A.P.E.X landmine. Together they uncover a terrorist conspiracy and come face to face with an enemy they never imagined. Torn from today's headlines, Sweepers is an explosive action-packed thriller guaranteed to leave an indelible impression on its viewers. Directed by Darcy Black, it was also based on a screenplay by Darcy Black and Kevin Bernhardt. Kevin Bernhardt also worked on the story. It's a new Image film, so Avi Lorner was involved producing the film. And Bruce Payne is also in it as well. So that's Sweepers. Shitty cover art, no, I'm standing. It's shitty cover art. It's lazy ass bullshit. Here's another Lorenzo Lamas movie, Megastar, with what looks like shit on the cover. I mean, it looks like, just shit. It's dog shit or something. It's probably because this movie is dog shit. Final round. With Lorenzo Lamas. In this deadly game, there can only be one winner. Lethally skilled, high-tech hunters, unarmed human prey, An industrial wasteland transformed into a futuristic arena of brutal violence, and a merciless betting game played to a heart-stopping conclusion. Starring Lorenzo Lamas from Bounty Tracker, The Swordsman, and Snake Eater fame, Kathleen Kinmont, The Bride of Reanimator, and Clark Johnson, Personals, as the ultimate survival contest. It's the ultimate survival contest where the odds are murder, the action is heavy, and the stakes are life or death. Kidnapped by the wealthy, psychotic thrill seeker Joel Delgado, played by Anthony DeLongis. And I think that guy was in Slaughterhouse Rock. Streetwise boxer Tyler, played by Lorenzo Lamas, his beautiful girlfriend Jordan, played by Kathleen Kinmont, and a surly ex-football player played by Clark Johnson, are forced into the world's deadliest game of cat and mouse. Released into a vast factory complex wired for private international viewing and million-dollar wagers, 3 men are hunted by cold-blooded killers armed with murderous high-tech weapons. But when the extraordinary fighting abilities of the would-be victims threaten Delgado's sadistic game plan, all bets are off, as the action explodes to the adrenaline-powered climax of Final Round. Directed by George Ershbaumer. Yeah. Interesting cast. Lorenzo Lamas is capable in some action movies. I saw the trailer. It looked like it actually might be interesting. And it's like Running Man meets Hard Target in a way, I guess. I love how everybody... Well, it's probably because this is their scopes or some shit on their eyes, but look at this. You look past the dog shit on the cover. It looks like they all have wearing fucking eye patches. So, I'm thinking they're just like something to do with the actual, like tracking devices or some shit that they use. There's another film, I got it for cheap, Dark Drive, A Mission to Another Dimension. And in the year 2002, yeah, we're way past the year 2002 or 2008. The Zircon Corporation has created a virtual prison where the minds of criminals are contained in a digital Alcatraz. Kind of a cool idea. But now something has gone terribly wrong. Special op Stephen Valken, Ken Olant from Leprechaun, must risk his life by entering these gates of hell. And I've seen the trailer for it, and I kind of look like it might be interesting. I like the idea. When I go into this, I'm going to realize that it's really, really low budget. So I can't be too upset at the effects. And, but it'd be nice to see Ken Olant. I like Ken Olant, not necessarily for Leprechaun. I like him more for his work in the short-lived show Superforce. But, or the part he had in the April Fool's Day, the 1986 film. But it's directed by Philip Roth. And Ken Owen, I guess, was also a producer on this. And it's released by UFO and Leo Entertainment. So that's Dark Drive. Another sort of virtual reality cyber movie, Webmaster. She gets Movie Time, said it was an impressive thriller. It's directed by Thomas Borsch Nielsen, and the line producer is Thomas Top Gun Steen. Yeah, he quotes around his name, Thomas Top Gun. I had to share that because that was kind of funny. And it's a foreign flick, because it's got like Thomas Borsch Nielsen, who directed it as a star, I think, and Lars Bohm. Lars Bohm. Hey, is Lars Bohm there? Hey, has anybody seen a Lars Bohm? Get it, Large Bum. Lars Bohm. Has anybody seen a Lars Bohm? Anyway, and Pook Shaburu and Karen Warbeck and Jorgen Kiel. And in a futuristic cyber world taken over by advanced artificial intelligence, a lone computer hacker, JB, I guess that's his name, is JB, is suddenly drawn into an unknown world controlled by the enigmatic Stoics. Trading on luck, JB is given the assignment of the Webmaster. But when a hacker maneuvers his way into Stoics' cyber empire, JB is given 35 hours to trap the intruder or die trying. Now, in order to survive, JB is forced to terminate an imposter he doesn't even know. Let the countdown to death begin. Webmaster. There's a flick I got because, well, it was cheap and also it's got Andrew McCarthy in it. I like Andrew McCarthy. The Heist. Some things don't go exactly as planned. Brutal robbery. A moment's hesitation. And a young policewoman's life is changed forever. Cynthia Geary from Northern Exposure stars as Lucy, an attractive young ex-police officer running from the memory of the split-second indecision that cost her lover his life. Now she finds herself back in the line of fire upon a daring $16 million heist. Lucy and her friend Tony, played by Andrew McCarthy, are thrust into a desperate struggle to stop a criminal mastermind, Wolf Larson, from Expect No Mercy and Tarzan, and his team of killers. Finally, Lucy is faced once more with the deadly decision to kill or be killed. This time, will she pay the ultimate price? From the first savage shootout to the explosive climax, the heist is an unforgettable action-adventure thrill ride that moves at the speed of a bullet. And it's directed by Michael Kennedy, and that's pretty much the only people in the cast that are already listed are the most, well-known or recognizable. But that's The Heist. Avalanche Entertainment flick. Those movies by that company are pretty much myths. They're lucky if they're a hit. So we'll see if The Heist ends up being any good. There's another screening copy this time of Platos Run with Gary Busey, Roy Scheider, and Stephen Bauer. Roy Scheider's barely in the movie. Well, Roy Scheider's in the movie more than Jeff Speakman. Jeff Speakman's in the film, but very briefly. He doesn't even get listed on the back when you say Gary Busey, Roy Scheider, Stephen Bauer, because he doesn't have a big role. Ex-Navy SEAL Plato Smith, Gary Busey, has his hands full with his teenage daughter Kathy in a failing fishing business. When old flame Marta offers him big money to rescue 2 escaped prisoners off a beach in Cuba, Plato accepts. Under heavy fire, Plato and ex-SEAL buddy Sam Macris, played by Stephen Bauer, managed to rescue the escaped Cuban prisoner, Felix Gomez. Name's not racist at all. But soon Plato is implicated in a murderous web of assassination and deceit, masterminded by a ruthless international arms dealer, Alex Senarkian, played by Roy Scheider. In an action-packed finale, Plato must face all his deadly foes in a desperate attempt to clear his name and save his daughter. Written and directed by James Beckett. Yeah, Jeff Speakman's in this, but for not very long at all. I think he plays a bad guy too, but I haven't seen this in a while. Plato's Run. Speaking of Run, here's another movie with Run in the title. Eddie Macons Run. Based on a novel. I guess a popular novel by Eddie Macon. See, they had the author's title in the film. Anyway, time is running out for Eddie Macon. He's trapped in a Texas jail on trumped-up charges. He'll do anything to make it back to his wife and child, but if he's caught, he'll be back in the pen for life. Carl Marzak is an aging cop who must prove he can still get his man, and his man is Eddie Macon. Hollywood legend Kirk Douglas and Dukes of Hazzard star John Schneider stars the pursuer and the pursued in this exciting action thriller that climaxes in a hair-raising chase through the streets of Laredo, Texas. It's a heart-stopping 1980s manhunt in the classic American Western tradition. And it's directed by Jeff Kanu. And I believe this is only on VHS, I think. So that's Eddie Macon's Run with one of the Duke boys. Here's a media entertainment flick called Zebra Force with craptastic VHS cover art. Can the end justify the means? I don't know. I don't know if it can. And look how cheap. It doesn't even have a picture of anything on the back. There's not even a picture of a star, a picture of the movie. It's just blank, black background with text in the title. When these men strike, the underworld trembles, and all hell explodes. Starring Mike Lane, Richard X. Yeah, I guess this is Richard X. Slattery. Okay. Richard X. Slattery. I guess his middle name is Xavier. It's the only thing I can think of. Rockney Tarkenton, Glenn Wilder, and Anthony Caruso. I wonder if he's related to David Caruso. Is that his dad or something? As the war is nearing an end, the commander of a crack commando team steps on a landmine and is seriously injured. During his lengthy recovery, he masterminds a plan of retaliation to compensate for the sacrifices and hazards that he and his men have suffered in frontline warfare. Okay. So he just stepped on a fucking landmine. He was like a dumbass. Or I hope it's not like that. I hope it's more complicated than that. Like it was a setup or something, and he didn't see it, or he didn't know he was going in a place of landmines. I hope it's not like he's walking around. Oh, whoops, boom! I'm hurt. Let's go get those son of a bitches. Although their post-war activities are highly illegal, they embark on a personal battle against organized crime, utilizing the military training of deadly precision. You know what? This sounds familiar. This really does sound familiar. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the A-Team. Some shitty direct-to-video rip-off of the A-Team. The Underground is not without its own defenses, however, as they trap a member of the Zebra Force, torturing him into revealing information. With the Underworld or Zebra Force emerge victorious in the High-Stakes battle, I don't think anybody's gonna win. I mean, a movie called Zebra Force. I know this is gonna suck. There's no doubt in my mind that it is gonna suck. I just hope it's, one of those laughably bad movies, not just one of those boring pieces of shit. But I know this is gonna suck. I got this because it's cheap and for my collection. But look, you look at this cover. It just screams suck. So that's Zebra Force. And come on, you call yourself Zebra Force? Lame. There's a film called In Dreams, which I believe also has this in DVD, either here or in storage. This is a film directed by Neil Jordan, who directed The Crying Game and Interview with the Vampire. I'd probably say my favorite film of his is Interview with the Vampire. I don't care for The Crying Game. I already mentioned that in one of my other collection videos. But this one I think is underrated. Really nobody talks about it in Dreams. Good performance by Annette Bening. Adrian does a good job. Stephen Ray is alright. Robert Downey Jr. does a good job in the role of he basically plays a killer. He's the crazy guy. He's the serial killer in this. And it's a really cool and genius camera work as well. Well-directed film. Decent score by Elliot Goldenthal as well. Nobody really talks about this movie at all. I want to watch this again and review it sometime. Claire Cooper's Annette Bening. Claire Cooper, played by Annette Bening. Her family life takes a chilling turn when a mysterious serial killer, played by Robert Downey Jr., invades her seemingly idyllic New England town and haunts her dreams with dark clues to his next deadly moves. With frightening accuracy, Claire predicts his every turn, but still no one believes her. Unable to convince the police, her doctor, Stephen Ray, and even her husband, Adrian Quinn, of her mind link with the madman, Claire must confront the killer alone and on his terms before another terrifying dream becomes a reality. I like the premise, and I like the way it was shot. I like the way it was directed. I like the performances. Yeah, In Dreams. Different sort of, thriller. Well, Blast from the Past. Home Alone 2, I got a saw going on over there. Some guy's using a chainsaw. Yeah, Leatherface is killing some horny bitches out there. Hey, cut it out, Leatherface! Anyway, Home Alone 2. You have Home Alone 2 and Ghostbusters on the same VHS. This is the one that I watch Ghostbusters all the time, is on this VHS as a kid. And then Ghostbusters 2 is on its own one. That's the one that had like the National Geographic special or whatever that would like interrupt one of the scenes. See, I still kept those. And almost done with this box. It's going to be over an hour. Wow. Anyway, this is a film called My Wicked Ways. It's a autobiography of Errol Flynn. And I got it because it might be interesting. And it's got Duncan Rager, who I like. I remember him playing Dracula on the Monster Squad. And the greatest Hollywood screenplay was the one that he lived. My Wicked Ways, based on his best-selling autobiography, follows Flynn from his arrival as a contract player for Warner Brothers to his acquittal after a highly publicized trial on charges of statutory rape. During these 8 tempestuous years, Flynn brought to life hit after action-filled hit, but none as exciting as his own life. He married the French firebrand Lily Demita, hosted many wild parties on his yacht, and lived each day as if it were his last. Duncan Rager has a delicious devilish glint that made Flynn the screen's most rakish hero. Co-starring Barbara Hershey as Lily, My Wicked, Wicked Ways captures the essence of a man who was more outrageous than any part he played. Directed by Don Taylor, it also has Darren McGavin in it, as well as Hal Linden, and who plays Jack Warner. And yeah, and it's a TV movie. So, My Wicked, Wicked Ways. I don't believe this is on DVD, so I like, you know, I was curious about it because it's Duncan Rager. I like Duncan Rager, so see what he brings to the role. There's another film I got because I'm interested in it. Interested in the cast. Next Door, Keeping Up with the Neighbors Can Be Murder. And it stars James Woods, Randy Quaid, Kate Capshaw, and Lucinda Jenny. And James Woods and Randy Quaid and Kate Capshaw star in this brawling black comedy about a neighborhood feud that escalates into slapstick suburban warfare. This sounds literally like what the unproduced script that John Hughes is going to do a film with John Candy and Sylvester Stallone called Bartholomew versus Neff. And in this unproduced script, which I really wish I could have seen that movie instead of, you know, Baby's Day Out, which I do like, but still, I wish I could have seen that movie. And it was going to have Stallone playing a straight character, kind of like the guy he played in Tango and Cash. I believe he's going to play the straight character. Or they're going to reverse the roles, and Stallone's going to be the crazy guy, and John Candy was going to play the straight character who's dealing with Stallone's nut job. But either way, it would be interesting to see. It would have been fun to see a John Hughes movie with starring Stallone and John Candy. That would have been really interesting, to say the least. Anyway, this is a Showtime movie, and Quaid stars as a beefy butcher who has a slight problem with authority figures. Woods is his next-door neighbor, a college professor whose reason is tested by the endless one-upmanship of his neighbor. From arm wrestling to attempted adultery, from backyard basketball to neighborly murder, this next-door nightmare is a fierce, fiendishly funny look at male machismo and competitive chaos that lurks beneath the greener grass of suburbia. It's directed by Tony Bill and written by Barney Cohen. And I saw the trailer for it, and it actually looked like it might be kind of fun. I like the idea, I like the premise, I like the idea of James Woods in this type of screwball dark comedy. So yeah, Next Door. And then, this is one, it was cheap, The Juror, Demi Moore and Alec Baldwin. This is a movie like I didn't really know much about. I think I saw the trailer for it, and that's the reason why I picked it up. It's a hypnotizing psychological thriller, probably one of the... It's based on a book by George Dawes Green, directed by Brian Gibson. And Demi Moore stars as Annie Laird, a struggling single mother who impulsively agrees to serve on a jury, hoping for a little excitement in her humdrum life. But she gets far more than she bargained for when she's forced to sacrifice the truth to save her son from the mob's seductive, psychotic enforcer, played by Alec Baldwin. The Juror is quite a feast, rolling out course after course of drama and suspense. Moore is mesmerizing. This is from a review from Sheila Simmons from the Cleveland Plain Dealer. That's wonderful praise from a great source, very reliable source, the Cleveland Plain Dealer. So that's The Juror. And then here's a double feature of both movies of the same title, Fatal Attraction. Yes, there is another movie with the title Fatal Attraction that came out before the Michael Douglas and Glenn Close flick. Golden Globe winner Sally Kellerman and Stephen Lack from Scanners, the guy who can't act, who trades his and John Huston, who trades his director's chair for the spotlight, star in this bizarre psycho-suspense thriller of two lovers whose shared penchant for dangerous games explodes into a fatal attraction. A head-on car collision is a unique way that Michelle Keys, Kellerman, and Peter Hill, Stephen Lack, meet. At first, their involvement is purely business, as each one brings legal action against the other. Slowly, their relationship turns to romance. Their attraction to one another sparks an erotic flame so intense that it transforms their passion into a bizarre game of sexual one-upmanship with each other. With each encounter becoming more and more perverse. They revel in experiencing their sexual fantasies through play enactment until fantasy mixes with reality. When the two become indistinguishable, the once playful game becomes a contest of lust and sexual power. It's a game they both want to win with a deadly passion. It's directed by Michael Grant also produced by Michael Grant. And yeah. And also has Lawrence Dane in it as well. It's a Fatal Attraction. I don't believe this lady on the cover is Sally Kellerman. I know that's not the case, so. But Vestron release. And this came out in 1985. It was released in 85 and the VHS came out in 86. And the movie Fatal Attraction came out in 88. Or 87. So this is a VHS of Fatal Attraction. Where, Fatal Attraction is a story too terrifying to resist. A crackling, tension-packed thriller hinged on a triangle of a man, a wife, and the vengeful other woman. Directed by Adrian Lyne, Flashdance 9.5 Weeks, and starring Michael Douglas, Glenn Close, and Ann Archer, the sexy, chic, scary box office smash grabs a hold early and tops itself in the unforgettably nerve-jolting finale, which was shot later. Because originally the film didn't end like that. That was a sequence that was shot because the test audience, screening audience didn't like the way the film ended originally. But anyway, folks, that's it for this installment of the VHS collection. VHS collection part 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's over an hour, so I hope I didn't bore you guys to tears. Anyway, stay tuned for some more airplane disaster reviews and some Captain America reviews. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.